I am funny about teaching culture because technically, in introduction to sociology classes, it's supposed to be taught. I don't know, what is it, like chapter two, chapter three? Like it's supposed to be taught early on, but I always wait. I always want to talk about other aspects of society and then get to culture for some reason. I'm not quite sure entirely what that reason is, but it just made sense to me and I've kind of stuck with it. And so let's dig in a little bit in relation to culture. So, culture is something we're all familiar with. We all have um, norms and ways that we have learned from generations of people in our lives and things like that. But it's the things that we pass down, right? And like I already used the word norms, and it's how we kind of make sense of what to eat, what to wear, how to behave, all those types of things. It comes in two ways. Material is the stuff, like I just said, food or clothing. And then there's the non-material, which is kind of things like beliefs and values and norms. So the non-material aspects of culture. When we talk about culture, something that's really, really important is being open-minded. And so when we are not open-minded, when we are judgmental and mean, it has a fancy word. It's called ethnocentrism. And so that's basically believing that your cultural norms and actions and items and whatever it is far better than somebody else's. And so think about it this way, those moments where you might catch yourself kind of cringing and be like, oh, that's quote unquote weird. Oh, that's gross. If you find yourself thinking that, you might be being ethnocentric. Like, for instance, let's think about traveling widely in the world. And if you were being served a dish that you're like, oh my gosh, we don't eat this, like, I don't know, intestines or something. Like, oh, ew, gross, that kind of thing. You're being ethnocentric, right? Because maybe to other cultures, these are a delicacy. They're delicious. They're a special occasion. Or they're just, what you eat three times a week because that is their norm. And so to make judgments about it is to be ethnocentric. What we want to be is culturally relative. And so that's when you try to be open minded and curious and learn about other cultures. So maybe you don't want to totally like you're still a little hesitant to dig in to various dishes, but like you have an element of respect and you have an element of like your worldview understands the fact that not everything is about the way that you know the world to be. And so being culturally relative can be really, really important as we make our way through the world. Another thing I want to bring up to you is subcultures. So, granted, the image in the corner is intended to be lighthearted, but subcultures are interesting because it creates these like little groups where whether it's like you can discuss your music interests at length or cars or video games or something, but you know the words, the language, the lingo, all of that type of stuff. But it creates kind of these when you find that person, think about the things that you really, really enjoy doing and you find a person who has that in common with you, and like you can kind of dig in and I don't know, nerd out together about all the stuff that you love so dearly. That can be an aspect of a subculture. So we kind of all have them, I think. And so think about what some of your subcultures might be. It might be makeup, and you can discuss makeup extensively. I sure as heck can't. And so you're a cooler person I am. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe you're like, no, Professor Griffin, we're not like middle aged. But no, everybody loves cooking. Come on. I mean, well, the people who love cooking, it's ageless. Like a kid can be a kick ass, love to cook person. But thinking like when you find the people that share your same subculture. So I'm a person with like a million hobbies. I kind of love them all. I actually do really like cooking if you want to talk about it. Um, but I'm going to share with you one that is like one of my subcultures that I've had my almost entire adult life. And you're going to be really open minded about it, right? Because if you weren't, there's a word for that now. You wouldn't want to be ethnocentric. So you want to be culturally relative once I share with you my subculture. You ready? You're like, what are you going to show us? Paper crafting? Like so these like gift wrapping and card making and more gift wrapping and scrapbooking. I love scrapbooking too. Like just yeah, this is my subculture. These are things. These are all pictures of stuff that I've made. Um, I love it. Colors, patterns, like punches and paints and stamps and stamp pads, and oh my goodness gracious. Some of you right now are like, okay, but you're not going to be ethnocentric. You're not going to judge me about my subculture. But like, seriously, I could, like, if some of you are like, oh, me too, we could talk about, well, Joann's is closed, but Michael's, and apparently that's all we have left for crafting. The crafting industry used to be way more like large than it is nowadays, sadly enough. But we still know, like us crafting people, we still know the places to go get things. And so, um, thinking about this as a subculture. Granted, it's not totally common, right? Not everybody does it, but like when I find my people, when I find like my fellow crafters that we can talk about, I don't know, paper brands or something like that, or the weights of cardstock or ribbon or who knows what. So, thank you for letting me share my subculture with you as an example. But again, to think about what are the ones that you enjoy and what are the ways that culture impacts us. It's kind of one of those things that you don't really realize until you step away and go, oh, look at this, look at that. And so hopefully this week will give you a chance to do that.